best as I can. First of all, I want to thank everybody for coming. This is a beautiful representation of her life, all of you. I'm thrilled to have known and will continue to know all of you. We are all in shock. We ask ourselves, why Mindy? Well, there's a theory going around, and I'll get to that at some point. But let's start at the beginning, and I get to my first prop. Mindy was born in New York to Irving and Adele. Here's Irving, here's Adele. Two Jewish Polish immigrants that survived wars that were horrific. Mindy had two sisters, has two sisters that are here. Mindy was born on May 14th, 1940. Anne already, they're waiting for her, and Sheila soon to come, her younger sister, excuse me. As a middle daughter, she was very independent, going by her rules, as we all learned, and she continued to do that till the end. Popular, member of the cheerleading squad, even was friends with some famous people. Many knew that she was a good friend of Neil Sedaka, even adorned the cover of his Greatest Hits album. One of my favorites. So I jump ahead to another one of my favorite parts. She had two handsome sons. You can see these later if you haven't seen them. In this case, I was actually the same height for probably a moment as David. David obviously surpassed me in height. That's fine. I couldn't for a while. She gave more of herself to us than I could have ever expected. And at the time, you don't realize it. The amazing thing is she would do the same for friends and family. If she could help, she would. And we all know she did. Always an ear to lend if was needed. The help was there. And there were other ways that she helped and touched us all. Again, I don't have to give examples because you have even shared them with me, many of which I didn't even know. Our home, growing up, was never boring. There was an open-door policy with friends. Coming and going. After a while, it was difficult to tell the difference between friends and family. She was there for family, never going for a visit empty-handed, and loved to share whatever she could share. If it was one child's birthday, all children got gifts. She loved the holidays and visiting relatives. My cousins, they were her favorite place to go. And so I walked into our life and stirred things up. But I'll get to that later because there's more to follow with Seymour. But she did meet Seymour when she was starting out her career. My mom didn't necessarily ask to get into the optical business. She had some close friends that had a business, and Bobby was one of the people who helped get her going. She had difficulty at first to succeed, but never stopped her because she wanted to make sure that David and I didn't have to give anything up. So she learned that she could sell by selling Mindy. Once again, customers were more than just customers. They became lifelong friends, as many of you are here. In her career, she broke sales record after sales record, year after year. Started assisting in designing eyeglasses. Met with top designers like Vera Wang and Dana Buchman. Recognized as one of the top 20 in the industry by Vision Monday in 2007. Her company did an exclusive on her in the same publication the following year, giving her the Sales Rep of the Year with Distinction Award for consecutive years. To say success was an understatement. She ruled that industry. So let me back up to my comment about Seymour. See, my mom met Seymour trying to sell him, but he wouldn't buy. Instead, he tortured her, but he offered to take her to lunch. On the back of a motorcycle, lunch was a hot dog. Yes, SL was a true romantic. The SL and Mindy spark was more like a Roman candle, flames flying everywhere. Together they traveled the world, Russia, of course during Chernobyl, Portugal during storms. In fact, the big joke was the airline was called TAP, as she would call it, Take Another Plane. She went to the Orient a few times, they went to the Orient a few times, once even for a wedding. They went and sailed the Panama Canal. Just great trips throughout the world in Europe. They got into boating. Docks knew they were coming with screams of "Pollock!" from miles away as Seymour was trying to get the various lines together. They found a new home away from home, Sag Harbor. Together they were accepted into that community and became a staple of it. You see, when Seymour passed, it was devastating to her. We didn't realize it at the very moment, but as the year, and it's only been a little over a year, but as the year went on, we could see it more and more. She could not get back on her footing. I say that this illness is a byproduct of her being broken. My love for her cannot be defined just by words. She gave me more than I could have ever imagined. She taught me about humility, confidence, thinking outside the box, the love of people, and love for people. And humor, too. To laugh at life. That's why she was Seymour, right? So I am who I am because of her. I hope I can be as good a parent as she was. She gave me the knowledge of what a good husband would and should be. Now to the theory. My mom passed because of a broken heart. The illness is a byproduct. This is what gets me through. Is that she was not the same when Seymour died. Two unique, unbelievable individuals. To think, independent, they did their own thing, they lived their own lives, but they were always somehow together. And not being together and doing what they did independently didn't work for her. Because he was always there. He was always the Pollock to scream at. So this makes it a bit easier that she's with her soulmate. It makes it a bit easier to know that the sounds of Pollock screaming in heaven are going on right now. So I thank you and appreciate the friendship you provided as we remember Mindy. This is the way that we need to remember.